Hello dear students, welcome to my class. Now we are going to start first chapter of 11th biology. The name of the chapter is The Living World. How wonderful is the living world? The wide range of living types is amazing. The extraordinary habitats in which we find living organisms, be it cold mountains, deciduous forests, oceans, freshwater lakes, deserts or hot springs, leave us speechless. The beauty of galloping horse, of the migratory birds, the value of flowers, or the attacking shark evokes awe and a deep sense of wonder. When we think about the world, it is an interesting place, and the wide range of living types is pretty amazing. Further, there are extraordinary habitats, be it mountains, forests, oceans, lakes, or deserts, in which the living organisms take shelter, and it is quite extraordinary. However, everything in the world sometimes may make us wonder. So, what exactly is life? In previous classes, we have studied about the diversity in the living organisms. We can see the wide range of living organisms found on the earth. Millions of types of living organisms are found on the earth. So, sometimes we may wonder that what exactly is life. Here you can see the various kinds of forest animals, for example, koala, panda, lion, kangaroo, monkey, chimpanzee, badger, raccoon, snake, lizard. So there is a large variety of forest animals as well as ocean animals. We can see various types of fish. Here you can see the seahorse, octopus, various types of turtles, fish, starfish, whales, dolphins, etc. Then even in desert also you can see the various kinds of animals. So what exactly is life? This question is complicated as it has many sides, to be it scientific or philosophical. So what exactly is life by the scientific or by the philosophical view? In class 11 you will study certain aspects of it, and you will largely reflect on what is living as well as understand the diversity in the living world. Now, what is meant by living? Here you can see the various examples of the living things. For example, human beings, plants, bacteria, animals, reptiles, insects, trees, fungi, birds, and so on. What is meant by living? Living is something that is alive, something that can grow, move, reproduce, respire, and carry out various cellular activities. It is said to be living thing. What is meant by living? What are the criteria for something to be called as living? The criteria are something that can grow, move, reproduce, respire, and carry out various cellular activities. To understand what is living, we need to look into the features of a living thing in detail. So let us now discuss the various features of the living things. Living things are made up of cells, and these are capable of carrying out various cellular activities. So this is the main feature of the living things, that living things are made up of cells and are capable of carrying out various cellular activities. The different features that best describe what a living thing is are mentioned below. The features are: first feature is growth and development, reproduction, metabolism, cellular organization, and consciousness. These are the five main features which best describe what a living thing is. So let us discuss these features one by one. First feature is growth and development. What is the first feature? It is growth and development. So we can define growth as an irreversible constant increase in the size of an organ or even an individual cell. It is said to be growth. How will you define growth? Growth is defined as an irreversible, constant increase in the size of an organ or even an individual cell. Put differently, growth is the most fundamental characteristic of living bodies, accompanied by various metabolic processes that take place at the cost of energy. That means growth is possible due to various metabolic processes, and these metabolic processes need the energy. These processes can be anabolic or catabolic. When it comes to plants, the seeds germinate, develop into a seedling, and acquire a shape of an adult plant, are discrete stages of growth, and the growth of plants is indefinite. In case of animals, their growth is definite, while growth of plants is indefinite. In the biological term, there is a minute difference between the terms growth and development. These words describe a separate set of events in an organism or plant. Growth refers to the increase in mass and size of a body, while development is a process where a particular organism not only grows physically but acquires mental and physiological growth as well. So, this is the difference between growth and development. What is growth? Growth is the increase in mass and size of a body, while development is the process where a particular organism not only grows physically but it acquires mental and physiological growth as well. Here you can see the picture which shows the human development. Here you can see the baby growing into a toddler, toddler into a kid, kid into a youngster, youngster into adult, and adult develops into the old person. So as the age increases, there is physical as well as mental development is also shown. Physical, mental as well as social development is shown. So this picture shows the various stages of human development from baby to the adult stage. Growth takes place all through the lifetime but variably. The rate of growth is faster until an entity matures. For example, the growth in kids is very faster as compared to the adults. It is faster until someone gets matured. After attaining maturity, growth is gradual and slows down before it ceases. This entire process and phenomena where an entity or something physically grows, physiologically evolves to attain mental growth and maturity, it is collectively referred to as development. The process of development of shape and structure of a living organism is known as morphogenesis. How will you define morphogenesis? The process of development of shape and structure of a living organism is known as morphogenesis. Whereas differentiation is the process of change in cells, tissues and internal and external organs. Morphogenesis is the process of development of shape and structure, while differentiation is the process of change in cells, tissues and internal and external organs. Next criteria is reproduction. Reproduction is the process by which an organism produces an individual like its own. It is of two types. You have studied about reproduction in 10th standard also. Reproduction is of two types, sexual and asexual type of reproduction. Most of the mammals, like humans, reproduce by sexual reproduction. But when we consider the unicellular organisms, for example, bacteria, growth and reproduction became ambiguous as both results from the division of the cell. They appear to be similar because both show the division of the cell. So, we cannot consider reproduction as a typical character in the definite living. So, next character is metabolism. Metabolism comprises all the chemical reactions going inside a living cell or body. So it is a typical characteristic of living beings. Non-living things do not show metabolism. See, metabolic. What is metabolism? It is the set of chemical reactions going inside a living cell or body. So it is a typical characteristic of living beings. The non-living things do not show metabolism. Next is cellular organization. Organisms are typically made up of cells. They also follow an organization of cells followed by tissues. That means the similar cells come together to form group of cells known as tissues. The group of tissues forms organs. Organs form organ systems, and organ systems together form an organism. This kind of cellular organization is absent in non-living beings. The examples of cellular organization are nerve cells, muscles, tissues, etc. Next property is consciousness. It is a property by the virtue of which an organism reacts to an external stimulus or change in the environment. It is called as consciousness. You have studied this also in the 10th standard in the chapter Control and Coordination. Consciousness is a property by which the organism reacts to an external stimulus or change in the environment. It is a typical property of living organisms. See, consciousness is being alert. It is a typical property of living organisms. They have the ability to sense any change in their environment. We can easily sense any change in our environment. It is because of the property known as consciousness. Now, what are the criteria that determine what is living? A living thing is able to maintain the body's internal environment, which is referred to as the homeostasis. What is homeostasis? The ability to maintain the body's internal environment. It is referred to as homeostasis. The living thing must be capable of disintegrating or building up nutrients to perform metabolic processes. Living things possess a highly organized structure. Living thing must be able to adapt to change in the environment. It must be capable of increasing in mass and size. It must be capable of responding to the external stimuli. So these are the various criteria that determine whether something is living or non-living. So in this video we have discussed about the criteria for the living things. In the next video we will study about the diversity in the living world. Thank you.